What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. After Sound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. All right, well, I just wanted to take this video to share with you guys who I think is going to be the largest burner of SPS for DEC in the future. And again, I think it's obvious, but it's just something that I wasn't thinking about until I was really digging into the numbers here. And we think about like, oh man, we're gonna need so much DEC for land, we're gonna need so much DEC for upcoming things that individually, I'm sure as a collective, the entire community is gonna burn a good amount of SPS for DEC. But one thing that we're forgetting, and if you forgot about this, then hopefully this is a very, very pleasant reminder, is the fact that market activity done in credits will need to be paid out in DEC. So what do I mean by that? Well, let's just look at the market here, right? So your 24-hour volume is $47,000 for cards. That's just 24 hours. You got about 6,000 for card rentals. And then there's also, and this is important, the non-card market, of which there's an additional 40,000, right? So overall, there's a lot of movement happening. And while I'm sure a majority of that, significant majority of that is going to be in DEC, I would not be surprised if a significant minority of it is in credits, right? And so what do I mean by that? Well, it's people bringing more money into the game. And so you might be thinking, well, okay, what about new players coming in? Like, we don't really have the new players coming in. And here's the thing. Whether or not new players are coming in, when players who are in the game want to get capital into the game quickly, they will use credits, right? I've done it. I know many top players who do it regularly where, if I don't want to move crypto around or whatever the case is, or I don't want to worry about fees and withdrawals and, withdrawal times and limits, I can just come in, use a credit card, use whatever, and buy credits. And that immediately allows me to play or allows me to purchase whatever it is I need to purchase without any fees, right? Because if you think about it, the fees are being paid out on the back end to the credit card company. Probably by, not probably, but definitely by Steam monsters. But that's just the front half, right? And so, I would make the argument that out of the, 80 or we'll just say like $80,000 to $100,000 worth of volume that's happening regularly, and even if that scales up or down, a good amount of that is happening in credits, especially because people are realizing, well, I need more cards to level up my deck, or I need more cards to, I need more assets within the game. I want to buy, I don't necessarily want to get the crypto available and buy off of Hive Engine. I just want to use my credit card, or I want to use whatever debit card and buy directly from the non-card market, more packs, land, whatever the case is, totems, right? It's just a lot easier for people that are playing the game. So it's kind of regardless of new players, there's still money coming into the game. So now what happens on the back end? Okay, well, on the back end, the team is holding all this DEC that they use to convert credits to and then pay out on the back end to the seller, right? So for example, right, they will receive the revenue from the credit card company, right? Let's say I use my credit card, then they will receive that credit, right, in fiat terms, and then pay out the equivalent amount on the back end. Now, here's the thing. The team is still sitting on a good amount of DEC, but we are burning through a significant chunk. And once we get to a point, in my opinion, where the team runs out, right? Because there's not much more DEC being minted. Now they could be going out and buying DEC off the market, which they probably are doing, right? Or probably have been doing, especially with DEC being below its peg. It makes way more sense for them to do that and just hold on to it. But as DEC gets to its peg and maybe even above peg, this is where the SPS burning mechanism and the whole flywheel thing, really shows its magic. Because sure, all of us will be trying to, burn SPS for DEC whenever it makes sense. But for the most part, if the team does not have DEC, right, what are they going to do? If DEC is above peg, they're not going to go to the market and buy, right? Especially not for the large quantities. I mean, they're doing, $100,000 worth of volume every day. Again, not all of that is going to be in credits, and I don't know what, the overall amount of credits per day actually is, but again, it's going to be significant in the sense that if DEC is above its peg, what is the team going to do? They're going to take the revenue, given by the credits, right? So let's say I want to buy $100 worth of cards. So I come in and I spend $100 with my Chase credit card, and the team takes that $100 from Chase. They go buy, right? They go and buy the SPS off the market, so raising the value, and then immediately burning it for DEC that they can give out on the back end to the seller. So when you think about the type of volume that's happening on a daily basis here, to me, it's a no-brainer that I think the team is going to be the biggest burner of SPS in the long run, which again, it makes sense now when I'm thinking about it, but I wasn't thinking about that before. When I was like going through the riches, I was just like, okay, who's got like regions, who's going to be burning a ton of SPS for DEC once, we start to minimize supplies. But in a way, it doesn't really matter, because for many of those folks, right, large asset holders, they will need a certain amount of SPS or a certain amount of DEC, and then that'll be, there'll be marginal benefits after a certain point, or they'll be done upgrading their land or upgrading their guild or whatever the case is. But the team and all the new money that's coming in, again, doesn't necessarily need to be from new players, because there's new money coming in from existing players all the time. And I know you may not believe it, and it may not be at the high quantities that, people are expecting or would surprise them, but that is going to create opportunities, especially now that we are close to peg for DEC. I think we're at 950, 960 Splintoshis. So I don't think at this point that the flywheel is going to get activated just yet. Mainly because I think there's a lot more DEC that we need to burn, and it might take until either the guild buildings come out, or probably more likely for land phase 1 to actually, phase 1.5 to actually be here for us to really dry up all of the DEC off the market. Although I would say that land phase 1 has done a really good job of that. And now people will need to make a decision on like, well, at some point in the near future, like, unless the team is going to start dumping a lot of the DEC, or, large DEC holders are going to start dumping a lot of the DEC. And when I say that, I'm not trying to frame dumping on the market as a bad thing, right? When you think about the fact that the team took the hit, okay, so I want to be very clear about this. The team took the hit by selling Chaos Packs for 4,000 DEC when DEC was at half of its peg. So we were essentially getting, a half off or 40% off. Now that DEC is back at its peg, I think the team totally should sell. Why? Because that's considered company revenue, and that is how they pay the awesome developers and creatives and just the personnel that bring us this really cool game. So there probably will be a portion of that, right? The team is holding some that is considered revenue. There's probably a portion that the team is holding that is for market, right? Market dynamics. But again, we've burned over $1 billion DEC within the last couple of weeks just for land phase 1. I think we'll continue to burn more, and then May should hopefully bring us some guild stuff. And what's that called? June, hopefully we'll get, end of Q2, we'll get land phase 1.5, which should bring even more opportunities to not necessarily burn DEC, but to you'll need DEC for staking and all that. So there'll be a massive demand. So ultimately, I think, again, my main point with this was that if we just follow market activity, which has picked up significantly over the last couple of weeks, and I don't think that it's necessarily going to like die down to end of 2022 levels. I think that there's going to be a lot of people that are coming through and like, well, I need to continually level up my deck. I need to continually level up my cards or my land, and get certain things, or my guild. I think we'll start to see a lot of that remain, or at least find like a nice equilibrium over time. And a lot of that's going to be coming in credits. Again, it doesn't need to be a lot. It doesn't need to be a significant majority of market activity, but it just needs to be enough. And once DEC is gone, and once the demand exceeds the overall supply, I think we're going to see. I think we're going to see the team start to burn a ton of SPS. Again, not their SPS, but they're going to have to go and buy off the market. But they're buying not with their own money, right? They're buying with the credits from the capital that's coming into the game from all of us players that want to get more assets of XYZ cards, totems, packs, whatever the case is. So ultimately, that's really exciting. I just want to share that perspective with you. And yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you think I'm wrong, I would love to know who you think is going to be the largest burner of SPS. But maybe it'd be cool if there was like a title. I mean, obviously the team shouldn't win it, or the team account shouldn't win it, but like it'd be cool if there was like the arsonist or something for the person who's burned the most SPS for DEC. That'd be pretty cool. But that is all I have for you guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'll catch you all in the next video and see you around the game. Take care.